A heartwarming Star Trek Picard moment was improvised on set. One of Star Trek Picard Season 1's most heartwarming moments was improvised on set by Jonathan Del Arco and Patrick Stewart. Picard Season 1 is set about 20 years after Star Trek Nemesis, the final Star Trek The Next Generation movie. At the dawn of the 25th century, Admiral Jean-Luc Picard's, Patrick Stewart, life as captain of the Starship Enterprise is long behind him. Patrick Stewart initially did not want Star Trek Picard to be a retread of Star Trek The Next Generation, which is why there were only a few faces from TNG in Picard Season 1, but Hugh, Jonathan Del Arco, was one of them. Star Trek Picard Season 1 revealed that Hugh was the director of the Borg reclamation projects on the Artifact, a derelict Borg cube controlled by the Romulans. Hugh was an ex-B himself in Star Trek The Next Generation Season 1's I, Borg. Hugh was a Borg drone separated from the collective, who regained his individuality thanks to the crew of the USS Enterprise D. Hugh and Admiral Picard's paths crossed again in Star Trek Picard when Jean-Luc traveled to the Artifact to rescue Dr. Soji Asha Isabriones, a synthetic targeted by Romulan Zhat Vash agents. Jonathan Del Arco improvised Hugh hugging Jean-Luc in Star Trek Picard Season 1. In an interview with Trek Movie, Jonathan Del Arco revealed he improvised Hugh's hug with Admiral Picard, which was not in the script. The heartwarming moment came in Star Trek Picard Season 1 Episode 6, The Impossible Box, soon after Jean-Luc Picard set foot on the Artifact. Facing his trauma from his own assimilation into Locutus of Borg, Picard was relieved to find Hugh's friendly face greeting him on the Artifact. Read Del Arco's quote below. Jonathan Del Arco's instincts were 100% correct, as it was a beat that Star Trek The Next Generation fans wanted. Star Trek Picard Season 1 takes place in 2399, 30 years since Captain Picard and Hugh last saw each other in Star Trek The Next Generation Season 7's Descent Part 2. Arco was right that Hugh would want to warmly embrace the captain who helped give him back his individuality, and Picard also needed the reassurance that coming to the Artifact would not be an entirely hostile experience. Hugh and Jean-Luc hugging is one of Star Trek Picard Season 1's standout moments. Star Trek Picard TNG callbacks set up Season 3's success. Star Trek Picard Season 1 opened with Brent Spiner reprising his role as the late LT, Commander Data, and Hugh was the second familiar face from Star Trek The Next Generation to appear. Star Trek Picard Season 1 Episode 7, Nepenthe, is arguably the best-received episode of the season, as it brought back Jonathan Frakes as Captain Will Riker and Marina Sirtis as Counselor Deanna Troi. It was starting to become clear that what Star Trek fans wanted from Picard was the return of the cast of Star Trek The Next Generation. Star Trek Picard Season 3 showrunner Terry Matalas understood and shared fans' desire to see the whole crew of the USS Enterprise D back together, and he delivered. Star Trek Picard Season 3 was the Star Trek The Next Generation reunion fans wanted all along, and the result was one of the best acclaimed and warmly received seasons of Star Trek since the franchise returned to TV on Paramount+. Unfortunately, Hugh was killed off in Star Trek Picard Season 1 and couldn't be part of Picard Season 3's TNG comeback, but Jonathan Del Arco's improv smartly showed the way toward what fans wanted and what was to come. Star Trek Picard, the latest chapter in the Star Trek universe, brought a familiar face back to the forefront of science fiction storytelling. Jean-Luc Picard, played by the legendary Patrick Stewart. Fans of the iconic Star Trek The Next Generation were thrilled to see Captain Picard once again navigating the complexities of the universe. But beyond the action and adventure, Picard also offered moments of personal reflection, emotional depth, and heartwarming connections. One of the most touching moments in Star Trek Picard occurred in Season 1, Episode 4, titled Absolute Candor. In this episode, Picard's reunion with his former Romulan protege, Elnor, is full of emotion. The two share a tender moment that wasn't scripted at all. It was a piece of improvisation between Patrick Stewart and Evan Evagora, the actor portraying Elnor. This unscripted moment became one of the standout emotional beats in the series, and showcased the undeniable chemistry between the two actors. The scene unfolds with Picard and Elnor sitting together, and Elnor, who had once been a child of the Romulan Order, is now grown and serving under Picard's guidance. In the episode, Elnor admits that he feels lost, having only been trained as a warrior, unable to find his place in the world. As they speak, the two men share a quiet understanding of each other's struggles, and their conversation reflects the pain of unresolved conflict and personal growth. While the script set the stage for this interaction, the way the scene developed was completely improvised. According to both Stewart and Evagora in interviews, the quiet exchange of words wasn't a planned moment, but rather an organic development that happened during filming. What began as a simple dialogue turned into a raw, heartfelt moment of connection. Stewart, ever the seasoned actor, was struck by Evagora's performance and presence, which contributed to the emotional depth of the scene. It was a combination of their intuitive acting and an atmosphere of mutual respect that allowed for such a powerful, unscripted moment to arise. For many fans of Star Trek Picard, the scene became one of the most touching moments in the series. It was the embodiment of what Star Trek often excels at, exploring the human side of its characters in ways that transcend the sci-fi genre. In an era where television and film often prioritize fast-paced plots and action, this quiet, unspoken connection was a refreshing reminder of the power of human interaction and empathy. This improvisation wasn't just a one-time occurrence. Throughout the show, Stewart and the cast were encouraged to bring their own unique emotional energy to their roles. As a result, the show feels more authentic, as if the characters are real people navigating difficult situations, rather than just being puppets of a script. Stewart, who is known for his deep understanding of character and his mentorship of younger actors, helped foster an environment on set where these moments of spontaneity could flourish. The unplanned moments are often the ones that feel the most genuine. In a world filled with scripted lines and meticulously rehearsed scenes, it's the moments that break away from the formula that truly resonate with audiences. This is especially true for a character like Picard, who is defined by his intellect and moral compass, but is also deeply human. The moment between Picard and Elnor reflects a vulnerability that many fans may not have expected from the stoic and composed captain. The relationship between Picard and Elnor is symbolic of much of the central themes of Star Trek Picard. It's a story about finding family in unexpected places, learning to accept oneself, and embracing the complexity of one's own journey. Elnor's struggle to reconcile his past as a warrior and his present as a protector of Picard mirrors Picard's own battle with his legacy and what it means to be a leader. It's a powerful juxtaposition, two individuals from different walks of life coming together and learning from one another. Stewart has often mentioned that Star Trek has always been more than just a show about exploration and space travel. It's about relationships, growth, and the deep, often complicated emotional journeys that characters undergo. In a world that can often feel disconnected, Star Trek Picard offered viewers a heartwarming reminder that human connection is not only possible, but essential. The improvised moment between Picard and Elnor is a perfect encapsulation of this message, one that was unscripted, yet profoundly meaningful. Ultimately, this improvised scene between Picard and Elnor will go down in Star Trek history as one of the series' most heartwarming moments. In a show known for exploring complex themes and philosophical questions, it's moments like these that remind us of the core of Star Trek, that beneath the spaceships and futuristic technology, it's the people and their relationships that truly define the journey. It's moments like these that remind us of the core of Star Trek, that beneath the spaceships and futuristic technology, it's the people and their relationships that truly define the journey.